Snuffle at Breakfast type deck?
Yep.
All right, so we're off to the finals. On one side, on to the left, we have AJ Sacher playing Caw-Blade, and we have Nate Pease playing Caw-Blade. So Nate Pease opens up with a Stoneforge Mystic. It looks like he's on the play.
Yep.
And he's probably going to get Sword of Feast of Famine.
I don't know.
Well, you don't know, right? It's great. A Mortarpod.
Mortarpod.
Wow, okay. This means two things. One, he got the wrong card. Two, he already has Sword of Feast of Famine in his hand.
They're probably more likely.
Yeah. All right, so AJ matches it with his own Stoneforge Mystic. So it's a battle of Stoneforge Mystics. This is a match that is not as exciting as it could be because of Caw-Blade and Caw-Blade, but there's AJ Sacher in the mix and Nate Pease.
Yeah.
So
you never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, you never know. That's true.
Yeah.
You know, if these guys were possibly real men, you know, for example, like manly men, maybe they would just play one game. They'd be like, I can see game one, I can see game one. Let's just play one game of this Caw-Blade mirror because
for all the marbles.
Yeah, for all the marbles, right? But maybe not. All right, so AJ Sacher is playing his third land, and he is dropping a Jace Bellerin. All right, Orange, you're going to take control for 1 second while I fix this internet issue.
Sounds good.
Orange, go ahead.
All right. So it looks like Nate's going to leak that Jace. It's pretty big for Nate here. He's going to have a chance to resolve his own Jace if he has one. But it seems not to be the case as he's digging for something. So Nate being on the play here is pretty big, but I feel like if he can't capitalize this turn, it's going to hurt him. So Nate passes the turn back to AJ with mana up to potentially Mana Leak or just drop a sword or Mortarpod into play. I think I do see the sword in his hand there.
Draft open competitors, there are 5 minutes left for deck construction.
AJ's thinking about what to play here. What is that? Is that a Mortarpod? Yeah.
All right, so what happened? I'm back.
So AJ's got a Mortarpod into play. Nate couldn't really capitalize on the turn he had to play a Jace, but now he does have a sword in play.
All right, so game looks pretty early to tell who's really favored. They both are pretty much making the same exact plays.
Yeah.
That's usually what happens in a mirror match.
Indeed.
Yeah. So Nate goes to equip the... Oh, wow. Is that the Oust? Okay, Nate only has one Oust main deck. So this could just be devastating unless he has something here. All right, so AJ doesn't have anything. So Nate's going to get in.
We does have the Mortarpod token.
Yeah, but it's black. People always forget.
Oh, wow, it is.
Yeah, it's crazy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think Wizards did that on purpose?
They may have.
They may have, right? Yeah, they're so
very crafty.
Yeah, so Nate's gonna get to untap, and he can just pretty much do anything he wants this turn because A, AJ is tapped out, and B, AJ has only the token to swing back. So if Nate wanted to play a Jace here, if he had it, he could just bounce the token, and this game will probably be all but over. Let's see if Nate does have anything. I think I see a Jace in his hand.
I see a Jace there. Yeah.
Yeah. Is he not going to play Jace? He should definitely play Jace. Wow. Why didn't he play Jace?
I suspect he has a leak. No,
it's
very mysterious. Okay,
yeah.
He wants to resolve a Hawk, I guess, but I mean, this is going to put pressure on AJ to not get hit by sword next turn. AJ can also untap and Gideon, but
or if AJ had a Day of Judgment, he could just like clear the board.
Yeah, this really gives AJ a chance to get back in this game.
I mean, Nate does have 2 blue mana in play at least. So personally, I would have played Jace.
I think I would have too.
Yeah, but Nate decides to not play a Jace and instead go Mortarpod, Squadron Hawk. So
AJ's got a Tumble Magnet here. And a Tech Edge for Nate's second blue source. No, that is an island, so.
Yeah. Alright, so Nate draws his card. And, yeah, I think with a... I mean, I'm guessing he has a land, correct?
I'm not sure if he does it or not. I think he missed a land drop last turn.
Okay, so Nate has land. So now he's playing Jace. One turn behind. And right now, I would just brainstorm. I would get advantage.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is good. So it doesn't really matter what Nate drew into because he has everything he wants. He has some lands, it looks like, and he has Hawks for pressure.
Yep.
So right there is usually pretty good just to put back, you know, like 2 Hawks or whatever, and then play another Hawk and search him out again.
Yeah, definitely.
AJ plays Stoneforge.
He's got a Stoneforge.
And interesting enough, AJ only plays 1 Sword of Feast and Famine and 1 Mortar Pod.
Yep.
I kind of like playing more because something like this now, Stoneforge doesn't really do too much.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of Sword and Body of Mind.
Yeah, I definitely like Sword. A lot of people had been playing 2 Feast and Famine as well, so.
Yeah, but I mean, I kind of like the mix.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's definitely situations where you want the sort of Body of Mind. I think a lot of people weren't playing it because they were claiming it was only like a 5% of the time that they wanted Body and Mind. So.
Yeah. Well, it's Nate's turn now, and Nate is probably going to... I would continue with the brainstorm and try to get, sculpt my hand the best I could.
Yeah.
So, do you think that's why he's called Jace the Mind Sculptor? Because he sculpts your hand?
Could be. He also sculpts your opponent's library.
Yeah.
Probably for multiple reasons.
With the Fate Seal you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. That kind of makes sense. There's the Star City Open Standard Trophy. Did you see the trophy right there?
No, I missed it.
Oh, you missed it? Okay,
yeah.
It's okay. What did you get at the Grand Prix? You got a plaque or a trophy?
Plaque.
Plaque, alright, nice.
Unfortunately, couldn't take down the trophy.
Yeah. I mean, it seems like you've been doing pretty well past couple events.
Yeah.
Some people said it's just because of your girlfriend's support.
Could be.
And you're actually just okay at Magic. But I told them otherwise. I said, actually, it's the support and the fact that Oren is one of the best Magic players.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yes, no problem. And I just made that whole thing up.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so Nate is contemplating what he's going to do next. And he's going to Tech Edge.
Yeah.
Seems reasonable right there. AJ Sacher was tapped out, so he wanted to get rid of that Tectonic Edge. And Nate's probably going to play a Hawk and just pass the turn.
Yep.
Yeah. So we've been watching these Callblade matchups a lot, and one person always has a dominating board position, but then one big turn happens and the other guy just takes control.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, so it's been pretty crazy.
Interesting.
Yeah. I actually thought you were going to come back in that Game 3. Like after you double bolted the Sphinx?
After the Sphinx, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was an off chance that I was going to be able to.
Yeah, his hand wasn't very good.
Mm-hmm.
So he was just drawing a lot of nothing. That's why AJ Sacher thought Sun Titan was better. Because instead of drawing a bunch of nothings, you're getting back whatever you want with Sun Titan. So, did you fill out your deck already for Legacy?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
All right, that's good.
That was pairings, right?
No, that was just draft open.
Oh, it was draft open.
Yeah. So, Oren, you have a lot of time. People don't want you to leave this booth. They want you to stay here before the time for the Legacy tournament. All right, so right now, AJ's thinking, I got to deal with this Jace.
Yeah.
That's his number one problem.
The Jace is definitely capable of running away with the game at this point.
Yeah. I mean, he had the Tumble Magnet to, tap down some things. But, oh, wow, Condemn. That's game. Okay.
Yeah, that's going to be it.
So, AJ made the play that we talked about. He had to try to get rid of the Jace. He used the last Tumble Magnet main phase to tap Nate's only blocker, trying to take out Jace. But Nate had the Condemn, and AJ just packed it in. So Nate Pease is up a game against AJ Sacher. I'm Gerard Fabiano here with Oren Beasley. And Oren, you know what it's time for, Oren?
What time is it?
It's time for a giveaway, a SCG Live giveaway.
Oh,
You know what
wow.
we're giving away?
What are we giving away?
We're giving away 1 year free Star City Games Premium.
Wow, that's amazing.
Do you have Star City Games Premium?
Absolutely.
Okay, and has it been pretty good for you?
Star City Games Premium is an incredible tool for understanding the metagame right now.
All right, so we're going to ask a question, all right? It's going to be a guest question about Oren Beasley, everybody.
What?
All right, it might be a little difficult, but hopefully you guys can pull it out. The question is, for 1 year free premium, what deck did Oren Beasley play in this tournament at the Star City Games Standard Open? What deck did he play? Everybody tweeted in, what deck did Oren Beasley play? So hopefully you guys are big Oren Beasley fans. Otherwise, you guys might not know this. Oren, do you know this?
I do know this one.
All right, don't give away the answer.
All right.
All right. So everybody tweeted in, and you're going to get 1 year free. So it's not over, though. If you guys don't win now, you guys could also win during the Legacy Top 8.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Legacy Top 4 and Legacy Final. So we're doing a bunch of giveaways. This is great. I love giveaways. Yesterday, I personally gave away some prizes. Somebody guessed the sleeves that Dan Jordan was using. It was the Star City sleeves.
Uh-huh.
I tapped that. Once you go black, don't burn me or something, the mono red one. And somebody tweeted in that he liked Don't Daze Me, Bro. Yeah. So, all right. So what deck did Oren Beasley play? We're looking for some tweets. So far, nobody got the answer yet.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it looks like they're
What's
having...
up, guys?
Yeah, what's up? I guess I asked too difficult of questions.
Yeah.
My other question was how many fans does StarCityGames.com have on Facebook?
Oh, wow.
How many fans do you think they have? What will be your guess?
I guess probably a couple thousand. I don't know.
16.
16,000, yeah.
16,000, yep. So a lot of people got that right. But this Oren Beasley question is looking to stump people. And they're going to sideboard. You know, both of them are going to sideboard the same way they have been sideboarding the entire tournament, because both of these players played against a lot of Call Blade Mirror.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is pretty crazy. All right, well, Oren, I think someone's going to get the answer right. And, you know, I want to thank you for being here. Jake Van Loon is going to come back,
my
finish
pleasure.
up this finals, and congrats on your top 4 finish with your interesting beep deck. You know, because I can't give away the answer. All right, thanks, Oren.
All right, thanks, Joe.
All right, yep. Oh, Paul Bunyan? Oh, wow. Yeah, well, we were going to find out some information about Paul Bunyan and Oren's shirt, but we forgot. Maybe Oren will stop by later. Thank you, Rashad, for reminding me. So, Jake, AJ Sacher down a game, Nate Pease up a game. What are your thoughts? Big debate. One guy has 3 Gideons, one guy has 1 Gideon. Let everybody know what you think.
Okay, well, I mean, if Nate's up a game, it's got to be pretty rough for AJ. He has to win 2 in a row, and he's going to have to win one of those games on the trot. So, being on the draw in this matchup is pretty rough. The extra card from being on the draw is not excessively relevant because of cards like Stoneforge Missing and Squadron Hawk that make, like, the number of cards you have somewhat less important than you might expect. A single one of those cards is enough to more than make up for mulligans. Nate's deck does have... Nate's deck has 1 Gideon, I believe.
Nate has 1 Gideon main deck.
Yes, and AJ has 3, right?
Yeah. Interesting enough, somebody just informed me that the Blue Ox shirt that Oren was wearing was for Blue Ox Games. So maybe he is not a Paul Bunyan fan. So we never know. We should have asked Oren.
We should have.
Yeah, we'll try to get him
I
back in
was
the
in
booth.
here with him.
Yeah.
So, I mean...
Yeah, we're busy just, having a ball. So, all right, so AJ's going to be on the play? Is that right?
That is correct. Now, what AJ wants here in his opening hand is turn 2 to Stoneforge Mystic is just super ideal in this matchup. It gives you a lot of options. The ability to sword and things like that is just super strong.
Yeah, definitely. All right, so it's been confirmed. Blue Ox is a store in North Carolina that Oren plays at. So he was repping his store. And he did a good job. He made top 4. So congratulations to Blue Ox and Oren Beasley. Or
Exciting
vice versa.
stuff.
Oren Beasley and Blue Ox. That's probably, yeah. All right, so awesome. So we're in game 2 now. AJ Sacher on the play. And the Legacy Tournament has just started, so we're going to give you guys a Battle of the Wits coverage. We're going to do everything we could. Ken Adams and Kenny Mayer are both playing Battle of the Wits. That's exciting. Man. And you know what's going to happen? Glenn Jones is going to make us Battle of the Wits on Moto, and we're gonna turn for somebody, I bet.
You know what the funniest part about Battle of Wits is?
Tell me.
When your opponent cracks a fetch land, and it takes 5 minutes for the fetch land activation. Because it literally takes a few minutes every time you activate a fetch land. Shuffling a Battle of Wits deck is, it's a chore, to say the least. Now, AJ really, really wants this tournament. He's somebody who, he's been around for a while now, a few years, and he's just consistently done very well at high-level tournaments of all types, including Pro Tours. AJ has never won anything, though.
Does he really not have a win? I feel like he has a win.
He does not have a win.
Did you confirm this with AJ Sacher?
I know this from many Facebook statuses of AJ. He recently played in a live poker tournament and lost in the finals. And though he was happy, he said, "I've still never won anything."
All right,
was the end of the.
Let's see if AJ takes it down. Personally, I think AJ wins at everything he does.
Oh yeah. I mean,
look, he just won the turn 2 Stoneforge Mystic lottery.
That's exactly what you want to be doing here, right? Like.
So he's going to search up a Sword of Feast and Famine, Mr. AJ Sacher.
Notice how, generally when we watch Called Blade Mirrors, people almost always get the sword first. But when you watch Called Blade against a deck like Rug or Valakut, people generally get the Mortar Pod first. This is a preemptive play to help protect you from the power of a Lotus Cobra. If your opponent gets a Sword of Feast and Famine right off the bat when they're playing Called Blade and you're playing a Rug deck or a Valakut deck, it's somewhat safe to assume that they already have an oust in their hand.
Well, Nate Pease won because he had that one oust.
It's true.
I mean, it was pretty much the turning point of the game. The SCG Live turning point of the game.
We should get an SCG Live turning point of the game, like replay at the end of every match.
Yeah, that would be insane.
Game, like
replays.
In slow motion.
All right, Rashad's saying no replays.
But maybe some Queen playing.
But Nate Pease drops a turn 3 Jace Bellerin. Let's see if it resolves. I think it's going to resolve. I think AJ is going to put in a Sword of Feast of Famine and, swing in and start getting card advantage that way. So, Jace Bellerin resolves, and both player draws a card. I do not like that play from Nate, to be honest. I would actually only draw a card for myself.
Yes. I would also only draw a card for myself.
Because I believe AJ is going to put the sword on the Stoneforge and go after Nate regardless.
Yeah, untapping his lands is pretty important in this spot. So it's unlikely he's going to go after the Jace anyway.
I would concur.
If he does, then then you get an opportunity to play a Jace the Mind Sculptor and I don't know, and only have to worry about really Spell Pierce.
Dr. Van Lunen, would you concur?
I would certainly concur.
Okay, concur then. All right. So AJ is going to drop an island, I believe. He has another Stoneforge, so I think he would go Island Stoneforge, search up another Sword and Feast of Famine, maybe a Mortar Pod. Does AJ have the second sword? Yes, he does. I think he would bring in 2. After board, he's gonna have 2 Sword of Feast of Famine, correct?
I would expect him to. It doesn't look like he does.
Okay. Because Nate Pease has Divine Offerings, so I would be bringing in the second sword. Yeah, maybe he did bring in the second sword and he just wants a Mortar Pod, but or maybe he's gonna go get the sword now. Go get the sword, AJ. Go do it. Is he gonna do it? I'm not sure. All right. Well, he's shuffling. He's gonna attack for 3. He's gonna have Nate discard a card. He's gonna untap. He's gonna play a Mortar Pod, and then he's probably gonna leave open up Tectonic Edge and Colonnade. Let's see if we are correct.
Yeah, now, things are pretty rough for Nate. He doesn't have access to white mana, so, Day of Judgment really is not an option here. He's going to,
I know, I think he has a plains right there. Oh, no, it's a Tectonic.
2 islands and
yeah,
Ink Moth Nexus.
yeah, you are correct.
Yeah.
Island. Inkmoth Nexus. AJ also is kind of short on colors. He only has 1 blue.
Correct.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you all for coming out for today's
AJ's score seems to be developing very well, though.
Couple of quick announcements before I hand you over to your head judge. During matches today, please keep all food and drink off of the table.
All right, Nate goes ahead and draws a card there.
Natural soda.
Now he's going to, I assume he'll play a land here and preordain.
Well, he preordains first.
That in case he gets like a different land that he
Yeah.
We're trying some new ones. That one didn't go too well. All right.
I mean,
Also, during matches, please, no electronic devices. If you are using one for life keeping, that's perfectly fine, but it does need to remain on.
All right, so Nate puts one on top, one on the bottom. He draws his card for the turn. And I think he's going to drop a Glacial Fortress here, which will come into play untapped because of his island in play. You only need 1 island or 1 plains. He happens to have 2 islands.
I'd play the plains.
You would play the plains?
Yeah,
I don't want to try to bait out that tectonic edge.
I don't think so. I think right now AJ kind of like wants to use that edge.
Sure.
So giving him like an opportunity to like effectively use his mana as opposed to not giving him that opportunity just seems good to me.
Okay, interesting, awesome.
Raise your hand if you do not have a person sitting across from you, and just leave it up.
So Nate's contemplating his play. And there's a shot of the trophy.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
that's a nice trophy.
It is a nice trophy.
Now, if you ever win a tournament, it's nice because you know I used to have to eat my cereal out of bowls, and I can assure you that it's not the most fun thing in the world.
All right, so Nate Pease goes bottom with preordain and draws another land. And I think Nate is.
Please look over your list.
It looks like Nate put the plains to the front of his hand, so he might just drop the plains here. I think he also has a tectonic edge, so he might actually tech edge a colonnade or AJ's Inkmoth Nexus. But I think he's gonna go after the colonnade. Yep,
Yeah.
he takes away AJ's blue mana, and let's see if AJ has a response, which I think he will. No, he does not. All right, AJ untaps. AJ's looking for a blue mana here. Let's see what he gets. And he gets a Gideon. He will definitely be swinging in with his guys.
He does have an island.
Oh, he does have an island. Okay.
Yeah, so
I guess he was slow rolling that island.
I think he was.
All right. I think right now I would probably. It's pretty close. He's gonna activate Nexus. I still would not get rid of the Jace. I would keep pounding Nate's hand. That's just my opinion. Or he could actually take out the Jace with his other 2 guys. So he could do both. He could swing with the 3/4 to Nate, the other ones to the Jace, and then sacrifice
And he's
the
using
creature.
using the mana.
That's exactly what
It's a really tight play. A good use of combat by AJ.
That's exactly what he does. Jace is down to 1. Nate has to discard a card. AJ gets to untap his lands, and he's going to finish off Jace Bellerin this turn by sacrificing the Stoneforge Mystic. And he's going to leave open Mana Leak. He's going to have Mana Leak backup. This is great. This is perfect. This is perfect for AJ.
Yeah, AJ is a pretty solid handle on this game right now.
Yep. All right. So AJ lost game 1, but it looks good for him game 2.
Yeah, being on the play with that Stoneforge Mystic opening was just really clutch for him.
Definitely
He didn't
is.
have a 2-drop, and even though he had Jace Bellerin, which is very strong in this matchup, Jace Bellerin is ideal once you've played a 2-drop and have some like 1-mana spot removal spells to follow it up. But if you're just playing a naked Jace Bellerin, it really doesn't do what you necessarily need it to.
Yep, I agree. So if Nate plays a 4th land, which he does, now AJ could also use that Tectonic Edge. So I'm pretty sure AJ's going to get rid of his white source and Mana Leak whatever comes down. Here comes a Hawk. It's going to be met with a Mana Leak. This is my guess. AJ is going to... yeah, I'm pretty sure he's going to Mana Leak. He might actually Mana Leak and then Tech Edge the Inkmoth Nexus. So I don't think he wants that Hawk to resolve.
I wouldn't want that Hawk to resolve.
Yeah, same. But he lets the Hawk resolve. I guess he thinks the Hawk doesn't really do too much, and he's going to let it resolve.
Yeah, I mean, my personal opinion of that situation is, by letting him search the library for those extra Hawks, like, you really, like, decrease the power of your sword. Your sword's discard effect.
Yeah, I agree. So I'm surprised that he did not mana leak it. And he gives the
Look
trophy
at that adorable pose right there.
and the camera a glance. He probably knows that we're talking about the fact that he did not mana leak the Hawk. And I think Nathan's probably going to just pass the turn with 2 mana open, which he does. AJ draws his card for the turn. It looks like he drew a Plains, so AJ could drop a Gideon, but I don't think he wants to tap out.
Yeah, if he wasn't willing to mana leak in that spot, I highly doubt he's going to drop a Gideon right now.
Yep, I do concur.
As with yesterday, to help control traffic, your pairings are not yet posted, but they will be soon. Go ahead and start heading out to the pairings boards.
So AJ Sacher drops a Glacial Fortress, and it looks like he's going to be tapping 2 lands. And he's still thinking about his play. All right, here it comes. Baby Jace, it looks like.
It's a pretty
Playing
good
around
one.
Spell Pierce, but not playing around Mana Leak. Let's see what Nathan has.
Yeah, I don't think Nathan has much of...
In the form of counter spells.
yeah, I think he's kind of cold in that
Okay.
regard.
So Jace Bellerin comes down, and it looks like AJ Sacher will probably just draw a card for himself.
Players, your pairings for round 1 have been posted. They are also available on Twitter at SCG Open Pairings. You can also follow the hashtag SCGNC.
All right, so AJ decides to draw a card for himself, it looks like. Oh, well, now he puts the 3 back on the Jace. Swings in first, and I would not be surprised if Nate Pease just chump blocks with his Squadron Hawk.
Earlier when I was talking to Oren yesterday, he actually pointed out that one of the major misplays he often sees from Caw-Blade players is he sees them chumping with their Hawks when their opponent has a sorted creature after they've already hawked, and in spots where it's like really important to develop a board. And he was saying that discarding the Hawk from your hand is sometimes the 2 mana is significantly more important than 3 life, and you're losing the same card both ways. So
I like the chump block. It's just...
I mean, I like to chump block in most situations, but I'm saying it might not necessarily always be correct.
I mean, the other thing is that AJ gets to now untap his 3 mana if Nate takes this damage.
Yeah, and the thing is, AJ basically knows that Nate does not have a mana leak now.
Yeah, I mean, but that has no relevance if, he's still going to untap his 3 lands.
Well,
So-
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is he knows Nate doesn't have a mana leak, so he might be inclined to go for a Gideon. But he's probably still going to play around Spell Pierce. So.
All right, so it looks like Nate took this damage, and now AJ's untapping lands, which I'm not a fan of. And now AJ gets to... AJ was tapped out on his blue mana. Now, if Nate just chump blocked, he could have untapped and played a good card. But now he's going to have to worry about mana leak. So I personally, I don't like that play by Nate by not chump blocking.
He has to... All the cards that get him out of this situation are all double white spells, and AJ has a tech edge up. And Nate only had 1 white in play, so...
But, I mean, he could have played a Jace. Like his own Jace.
That's true, and then, I mean...
He could have played like a Plains and Divine Offering.
That would be really good.
Yeah, but now he can't do that anymore.
Yeah.
So... AJ's in complete control of this game. AJ actually allowed both people to draw a card with that Jace Bellerin, which I'm also not a fan of.
Neither am I.
But I guess that's what he wanted to do. So Nate draws into a Marsh Flats, which guarantees he could have multiple white because he has a Marsh Flats and a Plains, both safe from a Tectonic Edge if AJ were to draw one. Having Jace and Sword and more lands than your opponent is pretty good.
Yeah.
So AJ's in a dominating position. Once again, it's Gerard Fabiano here with Jake Van Lunen. We are watching the finals of Charlotte, North Carolina Standard Open.
For this round, Table 4, playing at the Elspeth table, Alex Hatfield and David Price.
We've gone through 9 rounds of Swiss in this tournament, then a top 8 match, top 4 match, and now we're here in the finals. This finals features AJ Sacher, who prior to this event was in 4th place in the Star City Games Player of the Year race. Edgar Flores, who is in 3rd place, finished in the top 4 of this tournament. Jerry Thompson was in the running of this tournament throughout the day, and ended up conceding to AJ to help AJ make it into the top 8.
And Jerry Thompson conceded to Dan Jordan.
Oh, did he? So, Jerry Thompson just conceding all over the place.
And AJ Sacher will most likely make level 8. So Nate Pease plays a Squadron Hawk, and he's going to search up one more Squadron Hawk. Again, AJ in a dominating position will untap right now. And, wow, he draws a Sun Titan as well. So I think he's going to play Gideon. He knows Nate Pease doesn't have a counterspell.
Yeah, I mean, at this point you can just jam whatever you want on the table.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, I'd almost want to just get the counterspells out of his hands so that I could, like, just pound the board if somehow, like, Nate resolved, like, a day or something.
All these Callblade players tend to be playing around too many things, especially counterspells, when nobody has counterspells.
Yeah. They just don't have them.
Yeah. I mean, at least I learned a lot from watching GG's Live this weekend so far. I just know, you know, if they ain't got it, they ain't got it. And nobody tends to have it. AJ knows that he's going to win this game, and he's just taking his time, getting ready for Game 3. Nate's probably just, glad that he will be on the play for Game 3.
Yeah. Now, it's also interesting to note, though, if does AJ have any counterspells in his hand right now?
AJ has a Mana Leak in his hand.
Okay. So, Nate can play... Like, if Nate somehow resolved the Consecrated Sphinx onto a board like this, he would suddenly be dominating the game.
I'm not even that sure.
I guess Gideon kind of trumps that.
Yeah. And Sun Titan just actually trumps the Sphinx, too.
To round number 1.
It's close.
You have 15 minutes, and you may begin.
So, Nate activates the Inkmoth Nexus.
So that's not playing.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much Nate just,
Nate's just delaying the inevitable at this point.
Yeah, wastelands himself there just to save a damage. It's really surprising that Nate did not chump block with a Squadron Hawk
over Inkmoth Nexus, because Squadron Hawk does not tap for mana.
Yeah, exactly. Like the previous turn, previous turn he decided to take it. But Nate knows he's in trouble. So let's see what Nate does now. I'm guessing he probably will play 2 Squadron Hawks.
How many Squadron Hawks?
2 Squadron Hawks.
How many Squadron Hawks?
2?
2? Yeah, 2.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, 2 Squadron Hawks. So he pings away on Jace Bellerin. And he plays Squadron Hawk number 1 and passes the turn. Interestingly enough, he leaves open 2 mana. He still has 1 Squadron Hawk in his hand, correct?
Correct.
I thought he did. Let's see what he is going to do with that 2 mana instead. So now it's AJ's turn, and AJ wants Nate and himself to draw a card. AJ draws a Seachrome Coast.
I mean, AJ's hand is so stacked. Like, I don't know if that's necessary. But, again, I don't think it really matters at this point in this match. Yeah. AJ has such a mana advantage that, even if Nate were to have more powerful cards in his hand, which he does not, he just can't develop as fast as AJ can.
Yeah, it's going to be 6 lands to 4 lands, and AJ's the one with the sword and the Jace. So, there's a chance AJ just plays a couple of Hawks. Also a chance that he goes for a Sun Titan, or a Gideon, depending on if he has an untapped land. But instead he just goes for a Squadron Hawk, which seems reasonable. And he'll probably lay a Colonnade. And he's probably going to get in with the Stoneforge Mystic. I wonder if Nate will chump or not. I'm a fan of chumping. AJ goes into the attack step.
I think here I'm like a fan of scooping. It's not.
Yeah, it's rough
somewhat
for Nate.
difficult.
AJ scooped, at the right time, game 1. Sometimes people just play it out and never scoop, which is also fine.
Oh yeah, I mean it's completely reasonable, especially when like you're in a finals and there is no time limit.
Somebody tweeted in that AJ that Nate couldn't have chumped with the Squadron Hawk because it was tapped and he killed the other one. We were referring to the previous turn where he decided to not chump with the Squadron Hawk that turn, and the following turn decided to chump with a Nexus.
Yes.
So AJ goes for a mana leak on a Condemn, and that's going to resolve the mana leak, not the Condemn. Nate does not have a Spell Pierce there.
Yeah, I think Nate's probably got a chump here.
Yeah, if I was Nate, I would chump. Otherwise, AJ's going to play Sun Titan. Alright, so now it's Nate's turn, and he draws... Not too sure what he draws. Oh, wow, he draws a Spell Pierce. 1 turn too late.
Yeah, a little late.
Yeah. So, no Day of Judgment to be seen from Nate to help him at all here. He does have a Marsh Flats and a Spell Pierce. We know that much.
It's true. So Nate cracks a Marsh Flats. He's going to search the library for planes. After that,
maybe Nate has a Gideon in hand.
Perhaps Gideon would not be bad here.
Yeah, Gideon would do okay, but unfortunately, AJ would just have a chance to drop his Sun Titan.
Yeah, which would be Sun Titan trumps Gideon.
Yeah, Sun Titan, get back whatever he wants to get back, pretty much.
It's interesting. The somewhat innocuous Vigilance on Sun Titan actually makes it win the fight against Gideon.
That's correct.
Where other creatures can't really take it at all.
Alright, Jace the Mind Sculptor kills Jace Bellerin. AJ gets to untap, and he gets to play Sun Titan because Nate Pease only has 1 planes open.
Yep. That Sun Titan's going to return that Jace.
Yeah.
Put Nate into a really, really bad spot.
Yeah, I think once the Sun Titan comes down this turn...
Or does AJ
Nate's
have an untapped land?
Because he doesn't need it. He has 6 lands.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, and all Nate's lands are basics, because I was going to say that if Nate had a non-basic, he could activate a Tech Edge this turn with this Sun Titan.
Wow, AJ plays a Jace the Mind Sculptor instead. I'm surprised. I mean...
I'm really surprised at that.
Yeah. I mean, it's almost irrelevant, but I would have just laid the Sun Titan right there.
The Sun Titan seems to close the game.
Yeah, definitely. I think a Sun Titan would just automatically get a concession out of Nate. AJ draws into a Spell Pierce and a Mana Leak, so he's building up his hand up with counter spells. But doesn't matter too much because AJ has a game on lockdown. AJ lays a Seachrome Coast, and yep, Nate scoops it up. Nate was going to scoop it up, and then he stopped scooping it up.
The semi-scoop, the half-scoop.
Half scoop. I guess AJ is going to play a post-combat Sun Titan and get back Colonnade, beef up his lands.
Makes sense. Either that or... I mean, he could just return a Hawk. It doesn't really matter.
Or just drop Gideon. It's just... AJ could just do anything he wants right now.
He does whatever he feels like.
Yeah, AJ's got a really awesome hoodie on. It's a Dr. Pepper hoodie. He likes Dr. Pepper.
Yeah, he may actually end up getting that sponsorship.
Yeah, he did better than Lewis Laskin, and they both had the Dr. Pepper sponsorship contest going on, so...
Yep.
Alright, Gideon comes down. Nate tries for a Sun Titan, and it gets Mana Leak, and Nate scoops it up. So AJ Sacher won, Nate Pease won in the finals of Charlotte, North Carolina, Star City Standard Open.
Yeah, now we're going on to Game 3. And have you talked at all about how you think these guys have been sideboarding?
Well, what I said to Oren, and Oren agreed, was that they were going to sideboard the same way they've been sideboarding the whole entire game. The whole entire tournament, all the other matches. I don't think anything surprise is going to happen. We know Nate Pease is going to bring in the Consecrated Sphinx. We know that they're both probably bringing in an extra sort of Feast and Famine.
That makes sense.
Divine Offering's pretty good. So pretty much straightforward sideboarding right there. For AJ, he's going to bring in Jace Bellerin, probably another Sun Titan, but nothing too crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I guess he's bringing in 3 cards here. I think AJ's going to rely on his ability to outmaneuver opponents in the mirror. He's fairly confident that he can do that.
I think AJ might bring in more than 3 cards because he could go, so you're thinking Jace Bellerin, Sun Titan, and Divine Offering, but I think there's a good chance he might bring in the extra sword and Feast and Famine because he knows that Nate has Divine Offering.
That makes sense.
And
I like that also.
And he's also going to bring in the one Journey to Nowhere because he knows that Nate Pease is the type of guy who wants to win with either Consecrated Sphinx or Sun Titan.
That's true. And if your opponent has a Consecrated Sphinx in play and you don't have a way to deal with it, it's over.
You want to have a way to deal with it.
Yes, you need it.
Yeah. So, this is pretty good.
Tumble Magnet is not a good answer for Consecrated Sphinx.
Yeah. So, they're going to go to Game 3, and Nate Pease is going to be on the play. Big advantage to be on the play. So, we saw Nate Pease win Game 1. We saw AJ Sacher win Game 2.
Did Nate win the die roll?
Nate did win the die roll because Game 1 he went turn 1 Preordain, turn 2 Stoneforge Mystic, and AJ only had a Seachrome Coast down. So
Yep.
it was kind of bad news for AJ Sacher.
Similar to what happened to him again, too.
Yeah.
Now, look at
Pretty
that
much.
trophy there. It's very nice. For those of you without trophies, I was saying this before. I didn't necessarily get to finish my statement, but you've been living in this dark world where you've had to eat cereal out of bowls forever, and then suddenly somebody gives you a trophy, and you have this brand new thing that you can eat your cereal out of, and it just like completely changed your life. It's like every time you have cereal, it's a massive confidence booster. Like, look what I did. I'm a champion.
I think most people don't eat out of their trophies.
Like, what else? What are you supposed to do with it?
You just look at it, walk around, be happy with it.
But then it just takes up space.
Nah, trophies are nice. I like trophies.
You can like put it in the dishwasher. You can like clean it out. You know.
That wouldn't be good. Somebody tweeted in that Nate only had 1 blue source to cast Chase the Mind Sculptor. He actually had 2 blue sources.
He did.
Yeah, his island just looked like a plains. I actually made that mistake earlier, but he did have 2 blue. We would have caught him if he tried to play Chase the Mind Sculptor with only 1 blue.
Yeah,
so
we would have ran over there and just
Nate
got
Pease
him.
gives a thumbs up in his head because he likes his hand and he's keeping. AJ Sacher decided to go down to 6 cards and take a mulligan. It's okay that AJ mulligans because A, he's on the draw, B, he really wants a 2-drop, and C, he's playing Callblade, a deck that mulligans very well. So AJ's going for the pile shuffle here.
That's one of the reasons why Callblade like consistently finishes so high in tournaments. Just it's so resistant to mulligans and things like that that you can really take a lot of variance out of the game.
Yeah, with Preordains, allows you to keep 1 land hands, allows you to keep 5, 6 land hands sometimes. So AJ is pretty much looking for a turn 2 Stoneforge Mystic or a turn 2 Squadron Hawk, something to get back the 1 card that he lost by taking this mulligan. Nate looks content with his hand, just waiting for AJ to present his deck. And AJ Sacher only has one thing on his mind, and that's the sponsorship deal from Dr. Pepper. And the other thing on his mind is making level 8. If he makes level 8 this weekend, he's going to walk away with 4 of every card from New Phyrexia.
For Karn,
Yeah.
the Liberated.
That's a lot. You could buy this set for $749.99 on StarCityGames.com, I believe. Okay. So AJ Sacher looks at his 6 cards hand.
You like 6 cards?
Let's see. He is. I mean, it's not an instant keep, and AJ's a person to snap do a lot of things. Snap call, snap keep. All right, he keeps. Nate opens up with a turn 1 Preordain off a Seachrome Coast. Looks at his 2 cards. I see a Spell Pierce in Nate Peace's hand.
Yeah,
And
Spell
he
Pierce and that
decides-
Telemagnet's going to be pretty huge in this game.
And he
I
decides to go
suspect.
bottom. AJ's probably going to open up with a Celestial Colonnade, which he does, and passes back to Mr. Nate Peace. He draws a Jace Bellerin. Wow. So,
Pretty good. So it looks like AJ is going to get to resolve that Telemagnet after all.
Yeah, there's a good chance. Well, there's also a chance that Nate waits until turn 4 to attempt to cast his Jace Bellerin, because he'll have Spell Pierce back up.
That makes sense.
All right. So Nate has an option to play his Jace right here or not play his Jace. Let's see what he does. He has a Tectonic Edge, a Spell Pierce, a Jace Bellerin in his hand, so we know 3 of his cards. Tectonic Edge into Jace Bellerin, and that is going to resolve.
That's pretty bad for AJ. Whenever your opponent gets to put a Planeswalker and turn empty board, you
wow,
you
one
generally
turn
need
late.
to put
One
it to a
turn
bad
late.
spot.
There was the Spell Pierce.
Came off the top for AJ.
Yeah, yep, off the top. AJ knows. Man, one turn too late, but AJ's going to make the most out of this turn, and I think he's going to drop a Tumble Magnet. Let's see if he does.
Now, the Tumble Magnet is really good against sword draws in this mirror, and it's generally weaker when people are on the Planeswalker plans.
Yeah, I would agree with that statement there. AJ's thinking to play the Plains or the Tectonic Edge, and he goes with the Tectonic Edge. And Tumble Magnet comes down.
It's 3 counters on the Tumble Magnet.
Yep, that's right.
Nate's going to go with that Jace 901 and draw another card.
Yeah, looks like he drew a Gideon.
Now, Nate has access to 4 mana this turn. 4 mana, usually a very key number for Jace the Mind Sculptor. With the Jace Bellerin in play, that would not be an optimal course of action.
Yeah, I think Nate. I think I saw a Mana Leak in Nate's hand, so maybe he plays a Stone Forge or Hawk here. Let's see. Okay, he plays a Squadron Hawk.
It's probably going to pass the turn now with Mana Leak back up.
And he's probably going to get 1 Squadron Hawk. Is this right? Yeah, one. He gets a foil Squadron Hawk, shuffles up,
And he's going to get to play a land post-combat. That'll put him down to 7 cards, at which point he can pass the turn.
Exactly, and then he's gonna pass the turn with Mana Leak open. AJ cuts the deck, thinking about a good cut. All right, maybe he was thinking if Nate's just gonna play something else to shuffle, but Nate opens up after the Squadron Hawk search with a Glacial Fortress and passes the turn back to AJ Sacher. AJ draws his own Glacial Fortress. Doesn't look like he's got too much going on in his hand. I see an Inkmoth Nexus. And I think what AJ is hoping right now is that Nate uses that Jace Bellerin to draw him a card. And if I was Nate, I wouldn't mind just not using that Jace Bellerin at all. Lots of times people think they have a Planeswalker in play, they should always use it. Sometimes with Jace Bellerin, you don't want to use it. You just want to have it sit there and see what happens. All right, well, a Mortar Pod comes down, and Nate Pease decides to go with the Spell Pierce. And AJ could pay 2, which I think he will.
Yeah, I'm almost sure he will. He doesn't really have anything else to do with that 2 mana. It's kind of a freebie. But,
all right, so Nate 2 for 1 himself, but not a big deal because his Jace Bellerin will stick in play.
yeah, now he's going to get to, resolve a 5-drop too. Which is pretty bad for AJ. Both are going to draw a card. And Gideon comes down for AJ, or
Yes.
for Nate.
Yeah, it does. Oh, wow, it goes for double Tectonic Edge instead.
Putting AJ on no colored mana.
Yeah,
I like that play.
Do you? I actually would have just played Gideon, to be honest. Because then if AJ had his own Gideon, he would play it, and then Nate has a Sun Titan in his hand. So, but Nate tries to go a different route in Mana Scroom, but AJ actually has a lot of lands. We saw that this happened to Shireen Serrani, and he went for a double Tectonic Edge and actually cost him the game. So I wonder if AJ will make a comeback now because of this. I really did not like double Tectonic Edge. I felt Nate had complete control of the game, and just Tectonic Edge just to do it. But we'll see how the game plays out. Also, AJ has a Tumble Magnet in play, which will buy him a lot of turns to come back and recoup and build new mana.
Yeah, so I guess it's not necessary to 2 for 1 yourself in that spot.
Well, he had the 2 for 1 for himself in that spot with the Spell Pierce.
Yeah.
When he played 2 Spell Pierces, the Tectonic
That's what I
Edges
mean.
were
It's
2 for 2.
The 2 for 1 was in an effort to get AJ to tap out.
Yeah, exactly.
So
yeah, an effort to tap out to play Gideon.
Yeah, so that you could play
Yeah.
Gideon.
Yep.
That was what I was getting at.
So no, it makes sense. All right, Nate will draw a
So-
card.
He draws.
And
sees
he
another
attacks for
triggered
1.
in. He's going to crack in, put AJ at 18. 4th land.
There's a colonnade.
And he's probably going to preordain and pass.
Yeah, I think he would preordain. And let's see what he does with the 2 cards. He decides to... can't really tell, too sure what they are. Lays them down for a second to double check his hand. One on top, one on the bottom. Draws the one he puts on top. And drops a Squadron Hawk. What's he going to do? Is he going to search? He decides to search. He should be getting 1 Squadron Hawk. And AJ draws another Inkmoth Nexus. So AJ now with 2 Inkmoth Nexus, a Tectonic Edge, a Plains, all in play. The Edge is still, the other Nexus is still in his hand. He drops a Glacial Fortress. And it looks like AJ has double Spell Pierce, Gideon, and a few lands in his hand. So now it's Nate's turn, and he's going to untap, draws the card. Not too sure what he drew. Let's see what he does with the Jace. If he uses it at all. I think he should use it. I think he should have himself draw a card.
I would do the same.
Because it has 2 counters currently. And he is... Well, Nate went to go to swing for 2, but he took it back for a second.
Yeah, I think he may just want to leave 1 guy back, because if he's going to take the Jace down, there's no reason to let your Jace die to an Inkmoth from Tumble Magnet tricks, unless you want your opponent to use a lot of counters.
Yeah, I would. Attacking with both Hawks just seems a little bit too risky. It seems safer just to attack with 1.
Yeah, 2 seems extraordinarily aggressive.
All right, so a preordain from Nate allows him to look at a Gideon and Plains possibly, and he keeps both on top. Nate taps 4 mana, untaps 2 of them, plays a 3rd Squadron Hawk, and wow, he's tapping out. And plays all 4 Hawks. Wow, this is surprising that Nate taps out. I thought he had counters in his hand. I could be mistaken. This is a turn that AJ could make something good happen.
Yeah, I mean, AJ could very easily just Gideon this turn.
He does have a Gideon. I think the play is here Gideon and kill a Hawk. I think that's what I would do. Let's see if he makes the same play. All right. I personally would take out a Hawk here. Not sure what he's gonna do, because by him taking out a Hawk and the 3 Hawks swinging in, the Gideon will still live. And plus, AJ has a Tumble Magnet to even
save the Gideon for a longer period of time.
Exactly.
And the other thing that's interesting though is that
what does he do with it? Wow, he brings up to 8. I do not agree with that play.
It's a much safer play against a Sun Titan per se, because the Tumble Magnet can tap the Sun Titan and then he can snipe it off with the Gideon. So if
he could snipe it off with the Gideon regardless.
Sun Titan?
Yeah. He would tap it and then it would still have enough counters.
It would have enough counters even if he killed the other thing?
Yeah. All right, here's Sun Titan. And he brings back Jace Belern. So, I guess what's going to happen is AJ's going to just have Gideon take 4. He's going to tap Sun Titan. All right, hopefully AJ comes back here to make this a closer game. Let's see what he draws. All right, he just draws more land. Not very good.
Yeah, he's gonna have to do some work here to deal with the board presence his opponent has.
Yeah, exactly. The reason why I would have just killed the Hawk is in fear of him just having his own Gideon, and you're getting no value out of a Gideon. So AJ takes out a Sun Titan with Gideon's ability -2, destroy target tapped creature.
Suntine's just so powerful. There we just saw it, you know.
Yeah, it really is. Was there at any point that AJ could have had 2 Nexuses in play?
He could have played one before he played the second Glacial Fortress.
Because I remember him having the Nexus for a while, and if he had 2 in play, he could have taken away that Jace Bellerin this turn. But he's going to pass with Spell Pierce, Mana Leak. So he's looking for Nate to try to play some spells here, so he could just use his counters. He's also hoping that Nate has both player draw a card with Jace Bellerin. I think that's what's kind of keeping AJ in the game. I think he got 2 free cards from that Jace Bellerin.
Yeah.
You know, Nate definitely got more free cards, but it definitely helped AJ out. Alright, so Nate wants to try to take out Gideon.
And it's going to happen.
Alright, so Gideon hits the bin. AJ's looking for something big this turn. Either a Sun Titan for himself or possibly another Gideon. Nate's tapping 5 mana for his own Gideon, which will be met by a Mana Leak. Alright, and Nate taps his 2 remaining mana to go for a Stoneforge Mystic. It looks like AJ Sacher could use a Day of Judgment off the top if he still has them in his deck. He has 1 Day of Judgment in his main deck, and he has 2 more Day of Judgment in his sideboard. I doubt he would be boarding in more days, but he might have kept in that 1 day.
It's definitely a possibility. At this point, I think I just draw a card for myself with the Jace.
Alright, Nate gives AJ another card. Wow, AJ draws a Jace the Mind Sculptor, which will help a little bit because that will remove Jace Bellerin. But it'll probably need a Sun Titan. Oh, he draws an island. AJ's just drawing 1 too many lands, it seems like.
Yeah, AJ can't really get any value out of this Jace anyway.
Yeah, I think AJ's going to just play his Jace the Mind Sculptor and leave up a couple of blue mana sources so he could have Spell Pierce access.
Yeah, Nate's been drawing cards with these Jaces and just kind of burying AJ in card advantage.
Yep, I agree. So here comes the Jace the Mind Sculptor for AJ Sacher. Nate knows this and buries his Jace Bellerin. And an island comes down for AJ. Nate takes a look. It looks like he drew another Stoneforge Mystic. Now, I wonder what Nate will do. He's definitely going to swing in for 4 damage with all his Hawks, bringing AJ down to 12 life. Another land for Nate. He's tapping 3/4 mana for Jace the Mind Sculptor. AJ might just double Spell Pierce it here, having Nate tap out.
Hope that he can like rip something off the top.
Yeah, I mean, there's pretty much not. There's almost nothing AJ could draw. A Sun Titan would be good, but other than that, it's not too much. We'll get him out of this mess, and AJ might have to settle for a 2nd place.
All right, so
it looks like Nate played his Callblade deck pretty well to take them this tournament.
oh yeah,
Yeah. So there's Spell Pierce number 1, Nate will pay, and there's Spell Pierce number 2, I believe. Maybe not. Nope. Okay. He Spell Pierces Nate 1 time, and Nate pays. Nate's just got a Fate Seal, puts it on the bottom, and he'll probably just pass the turn with 2 mana open, unless he wants to play another Stoneforge Mystic in his hand.
I don't really see a reason to do that. You can just put the sword on the end step. It doesn't actually affect your clock at all.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he didn't attack with Stoneforge Mystic for a reason.
Yeah.
So
I mean, his opponent was at 12.
Yeah.
Like, 3 swings of 5 will kill him, and 3 swings of 4 will kill him. So there's not much of a reason to.
All right, AJ draws in, plays a Preordain. It's going to resolve. And he sees a Gideon, it looks like, and a land. Maybe it wasn't
Both
a
of them
Gideon.
going to the bottom.
Yeah, it probably was not a Gideon then.
Yeah, I mean, Gideon probably would have stayed in hand.
That looks just like he drew maybe a Tech Edge or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, so AJ really doesn't have anything going on. Looks like he's got a Spell Pierce, a Tech Edge, and another land in his hand. Well, AJ can't be too upset. A second place finish. Pretty good. Jerry Thompson helped him along the way by conceding.
Yep.
Made top 8. Won his top 8 match. Won his top 4 match. Picked up a bunch of Star City Games open points. Very close to level 8. There's a sword that Stoneforge Mystic searched up. And Nate's just going to swing in for 7 damage. AJ does have a couple of Nexuses he could throw in the way, and the Tuple Magnet to
Yeah,
stop
the Tuple
it.
Magnet still has 2 charges.
So that 7 damage might only really be 4 damage. But Nate will still have Jace the Mind Sculptor to sculpt AJ's library and keep Fate Sealing him.
Yeah, and you know, Nate playing these extra guys at this point, it's just, you know, he's trying to lock it up, like make sure that things are
Here's
as
another
difficult
sword.
as possible for his opponent.
So first sword gets equipped. Most likely a second sword will get equipped to a different Hawk.
Yep. So this is especially strong. His opponent really needs. His opponent needs a lot here, or his opponent just needs to block with lands.
Yeah, I mean, even if AJ's hand was good, which is not, it's still almost impossible for AJ to come back this game at least. But this is Game 3, AJ Sacher versus Nate Pease of the Charlotte Star City Games Open. All right, so AJ's in a rough spot. Wants to save some damage, taps the Squadron Hawk that's equipped with the Sword of Feast and Famine, and looks to be activating a couple of Nexuses. AJ's probably just hoping that Nate has a massive blunder.
Yeah, at this point, like AJ is counting on like Nate accidentally like attacking him or something.
Yep, I agree. So I think, not sure where the Nexuses are going to go. Possibly just on each one of the Hawks, and then AJ will just discard a land from his hand, or a Spell Pierce. Nate Pease has 8 mana. I highly doubt Spell Pierce is going to hit anything. That's why I'm not really a fan of Spell Pierce in the Callblade matchup. Early on, mid-game is pretty good, but once the game goes late, you don't want the Spell Pierces.
To hand your match ball to a judge, you may bring that up.
Yeah, it's a card that's very hit or miss. In some formats it's awesome, and sometimes it's terrible.
Yep.
Oftentimes in the same format from week to week, it becomes good and bad.
All right, so AJ prevents some damage, puts one Nexus in front of a Hawk, the other Nexus in front of a Hawk, equipped it with a Sword of Feast and Famine. Nate Pease Fate Seals AJ, leaves it on top, and it should be game right here. I think maybe AJ's just thinking about Tech Edging something. All right, he wants to Tech Edge a Colonnade. AJ draws for his turn. Takes a look at his hand of... Okay, he must have drawn another Tech Edge. Doesn't really help here, though. He's facing down 2 swords and a Jace the Mind Sculptor, along with a couple of Stoneforge Mystics. Alright, he taps the Hawk that's a 3/3. AJ's taking 5 damage, it looks like, going down to 6 life.
Just going to discard
the Spell Pierce.
And
Nate's just going to once again Fate Seal with Jace the Mind Sculptor.
Seems reasonable.
Yeah, we're
He has
gonna,
counter magic in hand too, I assume.
we're gonna have a champion. It's gonna be Nate Pease playing Blue-White Callblade. Fought through 9 rounds of Swiss, 3 rounds of top 8, and he's gonna walk away with the Star City Games Standard Open Trophy. He's gonna walk away with 25. Is that correct? And he's also gonna walk away with thousands of dollars.
Oh yeah,
So it's definitely a
Infobucks.
Nate's definitely proud of this moment, and congratulations to Nate Pease, who took down Star City Game Charlotte Standard Open.
That's great stuff.